Bishop Ron's presentation, and these slides I got it from Toastmasters International. So these slides are courtesy from Toastmasters International. In everything we do in life, we always hear people say, you need commitment, you need effort. Again, again, and again. You must be thinking right now, is he going to tell us the same thing again? Yes I am. But this time, hopefully, I can get you to not just hear it. This time, hopefully I can help you understand why. As any member of any Toastmaster club, we have a promise, as you can see in the handout given on your seats. I'm going to try to break it down for you and save you from reading line for line. And the Toastmasters promise revolves around three significant principles. They are participate, interact, and maintaining the club's quality. I'm going to be going through them one by one. I promise to participate by attending regularly. This one is pretty self-explanatory. We cannot gain the benefits that a club has to offer if we don't attend. Every meeting that happens, there is always something different happening. And that's how we learn, we experience, and we grow. Now, attending is one thing. Actually doing something is another. And in our case, it's speech projects. Sure, we can sit and watch amazing speakers deliver their awe-inspiring speeches and think, now I know how they do it. But it's one thing to listen. It's a whole other thing to actually do it. It's a whole other experience. Think of it as practice. Practice makes progress. That's when the actual learning begins. Now, we always hear that the evaluation session is the educational session. Well, in every meeting, in every part of the meeting, we always learn something in its own way. The whole purpose of evaluation is to get feedbacks. Evaluation, speakers get feedbacks. Have you ever felt scared that you'll always keep making the same mistake over and over again without knowing it's a mistake? Well, I'm scared of that all the time. But we all know that that's not going to happen here if we don't let it happen. We want our peers to learn. We want to help them grow. And that's only going to happen if we give them helpful and constructive feedback. What's more intimidating than a public speaking event? And what's more intimidating than speaking in public? Walking into a meeting filled with strangers who does nothing but speak in public, and then putting yourself at risk of being put on stage to speak in front of those strangers. Don't you think that that's how our new guests feel? That was certainly how I felt when I walked into my first Toastmasters meeting. But warm smiles and friendly faces can always melt that away. It is one of our responsibilities as Toastmasters to ensure that anyone and everyone who walks in our meetings feel as comfortable as possible. Any meeting and any club cannot function as a one-man show. It always needs teamwork, it always needs support. And in every meeting that happens, every single week, there is always teamwork and planning that goes behind that. There's always that taking place. And serving as a club officer gives you first-hand experience on how significant these things are for us to run a successful show every week and give our members the benefits they deserve. Treating members with courtesy and with respect and courtesy, that is something that we need to practice everywhere, wherever we go, not just as club members. No matter who we are, no matter where we are. Our club just happens to emphasize it a little bit more. It is indeed important for us to show respect, to encourage, and to acknowledge anyone, regardless of their status or their achievement levels, because we all have equal rights as members in this club. Of course, the club quality should not slip away. This is one thing that we always stress in this club. Bring in new guests. It's a two-way thing. Both parties benefit. We bring in guests, we show them and we introduce to them the Toastmasters program, and we show them how it can benefit them. On our side, we bring in fresh insights, new ideas, new personalities. Fresh perspectives help the club grow. We cannot expect to grow if we keep seeing the same faces and we keep speaking in front of the same people for years. These 2 points for me are, it can be linked together. In Toastmasters, we have set guidelines that serve as foundations for our program. They're there for a reason. When they say that rules are meant to be broken, this isn't one of them. If we stray too far away from these guidelines, it can devalue the awards we achieve, and as a result, devalue the quality of our club. That is why these guidelines are there, and it is not only the job of the general evaluator to ensure that the meeting takes place correctly and in order, but it's also every Toastmaster's responsibility to keep an eye on things and make sure we are on top of everything in every meeting. Now I know it seems like a lot of things to remember, but here's the thing, you don't have to. No, you don't have to read and recite the Toastmasters promise every day until you memorize it. If this learning journey is important to you, the commitment will be there. If you value this as much as the other person, it always starts from each and every one of us. The club will only be strong if you are. With that, I hand the floor back to our Toastmaster of the evening. Thank you.